see them talk say, make we off mind. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, Maiyegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo.
Maiyegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo.
Nigeria is poverty capital of the world today. Yoruba land is supposed to be the prosperous nation. If the idea of one Nigeria is not forced on Yorubas, let me tell you, by statistics, okay? And let me say this again. I don't want to join the team of those who want to be, the victimhood. They will say, well, we are victims. I don't like playing the victim's card. Because when we talk about our problems, we should talk about those who caused the problem. Some of them are still alive. Some of them are dead. And when I started taking the numbers, I found that that over 98% of over 98% of our problems are caused by the people who speak like me, who talk like me, who look like me, who are pretty much like me, who understand the same language like myself, Yoruba people. And I don't tell myself lie. I don't create alternative facts. There is a problem. Yes, we know. But what I do tell myself is that if you want to talk about a problem, you should be bold enough to talk about those who created that problems. So that you don't join the bandwagon of those who continue to compensate those who have created the problems. Because in my own political sojourn, research, I found out that the rightful definition of a politician is just individuals who look for a problem. And if there is not a problem, they create a problem. Then they tell you they will resolve the problem. Now, in the process of resolving that problem, they create more problem, and they tell you they need time to solve more problem. And again, it's just same. That is just the real definition of a politician. Then if a politician comes to you and say, I'm going to fix your electricity, Yoruba land has become a part of a failed country called one Nigeria, that we have now been presented as those who lack creative thinking, who lack creative management, who have no real plan for their own citizens, who have no real plan for their own aged, who are just living for today, what they can feed on from today and tomorrow can take care of itself. And when I look at all these problems, I found Yorubas there. Do you understand? Now, when I found them, I found that 80 to 90% of them are politicians who are geniuses who have told us they had solutions. If I am too young, or let's say if I was too young, in 1999, that was 22 years ago, I was probably, now today I'm 37 years old, right? 37 years old minus 22 years. I was probably 15 years old when democracy started in 1999. 22 years of my life. If you are my age, this may make sense to you. Yorubas we are now part of a country that is now a beggarly country, that you cannot boast of a good road, you can't boast of a good schools, you can't boast of a good educational system, you can't boast of good hospitals, you can't boast of a good healthcare system for the young and the old, for the rich and for the poor. You can't boast of good, food security. Yoruba people can grow food, but today we are now part of the country listed as the poverty capital of the world because we share in that poverty today, right? And when I look at those who have been making decisions in the last 22 years, think about this for a minute. If you don't understand where I'm coming from, why, if a conversation is had today, Yoruba people who want to break away from Nigeria, they can pick my point and present this. We know the people who are in charge who make the problems, okay? And that is why, if we have an opportunity of unlocking the minds of the people, why no politician is trustworthy? Genuinely, I'm being sincere now. But that is a future possible tense. The reality today is that majority of our people's mind, majority of their mind are locked to believe that what I'm saying right now is just jargons. Yeah, sound good, but it's not possible. But there's something they need to know, that it is possible once they begin to unlock their minds, once they begin to understand that, yes, we all know the problems. I'm not talking about the problems. I am talking about those who created the problems. And I'm telling you that you are part of the problem. Every one of us who believe that what I have been saying, or anyone who says the system shouldn't change or the system can't change, is part of the problem. Now, when you believe that, you know the problem better. Then I am here to tell you that whatever you now want to do, whatever you choose to do, in reality, you are still going to do what you have to do. You are still going to believe what you are going to believe. Okay? I have no control over that. Nobody has. Even when people pretend that they can tell you what to do, I know it. That no matter how much you know, you will still have to do what you have to do. But my own job is to continue to remind you that knowing about the problem, is not enough. You should take a position, and you should know why you are taking that position. Educated mind, enlightened mind. So that when you say break up Nigeria, you know what you are talking about. It's not about war. It's not about war and violence. Do you understand? Yeah? I believe you should. You know, we know the problem. We know those behind the problem. If they are not behind the problem, they are part of the problem. 22 years ago, many of them told us many things that we shouldn't be talking about today. Like now, security. I mean, shouldn't there be a conversation around that? Yoruba share part of the poverty claim. Yoruba share part of the corruption claim tag. Yoruba share part of this disjointed, mismanaged, misgoverned, badly governed, and violently forced together country where just a mere conversation, let Fulani herdsmen, local and foreign, let them come to the table too. But let me tell you something. If you don't think that 22 years is a long time in your life, I was 15 years old boy. 15 years. Now I'm talking to you from 6,000 miles away from you. From a different continent entirely. Simply because 22 years ago, I was told that I shouldn't think about what my country would do for me, but what I could do for my country. But in that my country, I am watching those who told me to think about what I can do for my country. Pillaged that same country, looted that same country, conspired against that country, decimated the whole country. And I watched that same country, 22 years of my life, no plan, watch the same country kill our own citizens. That is the short story of my 22 years Nigeria. And if you now ask me, how did you get to where you are? Ask yourself, how did you get to where you are? At least you are somewhere. You're watching me from Nigeria. 22 years ago, some people told you, you won't be talking about corruption. You won't be talking about no electricity. You won't be talking about importing fuel from Niger Republic. You won't even be talking about begging to get visa to go to any country apart from Nigeria. Imagine people being arrested because what? Because they wanted to cross to Benin Republic illegally, or because they wanted to go to South Africa. In Africa, Nigerians, giant of Africa, where you have all the geniuses, ask yourself, 22 years they told you, one day, Nigeria is going to be great. Are you seeing that greatness now? I'm not questioning your judgment. I'm only asking you to ask yourselves, where were you 22 years ago? How old were you 22 years ago? And if you can look back and you can tell yourself, think about what Nigeria took away from you when you are busy doing everything, believing in it, like your own parents, who today you and them are now talking about ọmọ tó ní bàbá òun ò là, tó ní màmá òun ò lówó, ẹnu ẹ̀ ló wà yẹn. Find an interpreter. I'm so sorry, okay? So these are the things that you should ask yourselves, that shouldn't we be talking about it? Shouldn't the Yoruba leaders be concerned? They are budgeting money for, now this is us now, not just blaming Igbos, blaming Hausa, blaming Fulani. When you come out and you are a victim of Fulani herdsmen invasion, okay, let's look at it this way. We have governors, you have House of Rep members, you have all the political leaders who parade themselves as Yoruba leaders. We have them, okay? We have traditional leaders, we have prayer warriors, and we have the other Fufuselas, everybody who claim to speak for Yoruba land right now. The federal government of Nigeria said the people who are killing people, they are not Nigerians. Let's even just agree now that those who are killing people are not Nigerians. You will agree with me that if they now tell you that foreign Fulani killers are killing people in Ekiti, killing people in Ondo, killing people in Oyo, and kidnapping people in Ogun, displacing people from their villages in Yewa, and people are now refugees in another country, won't you agree with me in a common sense way that those who are parading themselves as Yoruba speakers and representatives now should be bold enough to demand for an immediate national conversation and demand that at this point, we are now passing a vote of no confidence in that agreement made, whatever made or not made with Nigeria. Now we have a vote of no confidence in that. Here is our memorandum. If these conditions are not met, Yorubas will leave Nigeria. What stopped a Yoruba governor from saying that? What stopped the likes of Tifnumbu from saying that? Won't you think, or what am I even saying? Shouldn't you agree that if a farmer, one farmer with 10 acres of farmland in Yewa land, had his farm destroyed and all his produce ruined and destroyed, and you have 10,000 of such people scattered all over the 6 states they gave to Yoruba people right now. Now, put that into a context that you have 10,000 farmers with more than nearly a million farmland, okay, destroyed annually every year. Now, put that into a chart and present that to a state governor who cares about the future of his own people, the economic survival of his own people, and such governor should ignore that. Now, ask me if they don't have that template already. So if you have 1 million acre of farmlands being destroyed annually, every day farmland are being destroyed every day, yeah? Now, if you have 1 million farmlands destroyed, that is your economy destroyed. And when they talk about poverty, you should queue and join the line. And shouldn't any leader be worried about that? Should any leader be scared and afraid to call for a national meeting? I am asking you, even if you love one Nigeria, even if you do, okay, ask yourselves that those who are asking Nigeria to break up so that people can decide to protect themselves, they can decide to have a conversation on how they will protect themselves, how they will govern themselves. This conversation is what they don't want to have, because through that conversation, there's something called referendum. Referendum is a clause in an agreement that should be in every document that binds any country together. Referendum. A peaceful dissolution of a country comes from a conversation that is bordering on a disagreement, an irreconcilable disagreement. Nigeria is an irreconcilable entity. It's a contraption put together that they fear if they have a conversation about your differences. Even those who love Nigeria, hypothetically, when they begin to listen to those who don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore, many of you are going to agree with them. And you are going to agree, not just agree, you are going to align with them. Because by listening to them, you will be unlocking your minds from the Nigeria they have painted for you many times. The one that cannot be divided, the one that is indissoluble, but yet the one that is killing everybody. Nigeria is not just killing you. Yes, let's go back to reality. The reality is that everywhere you go right now, either as a Biafran or you are still going about as an Oduduwan, which is great. All this whole thing, they are fantastic stuffs. They are great movement that you should be proud of. Nothing should make you proud less. But one thing is this, the reality is that, and you are going to agree with me, even though you don't like it, you still have to carry that Nigerian passport. My passport runs out, I think it runs out this year. If I want to go anywhere, if I care to go anywhere at all, apart from my own UK residency, that allows me to go anywhere, everywhere I want in the whole world, except Nigeria. But I'm not I'm not British. I'm not, I'm not Scottish yet. Yeah, I have that option. I agree. And that takes me back to when I told you, this is the reality. It is when they allow that conversation. It is when it is no longer a crime for you to feel like you want to feel like a Yoruba man and you want to walk the world. You want to travel the world as a Yoruba man. And if they ask you why, but you can still travel the world as a Nigerian, you should make it work. Tell them that the limitation placed before you as a Nigerian and what you have to do to break that limitation is so huge that your Yoruba identity shouldn't be that hard and difficult if you are allowed to have a country that gives you that identity. And you know what that your identity is? Your language. I don't want to talk about how we lost it, but we can have it back. That's why you can feel proud about it. People may not agree with your approach. People may not completely agree with the way you are saying it, but I agree with you. I do. Same way, I agree with everyone who wants to express themselves in a different way, how they think Nigeria will work. But one thing I have figured out is only if all of us can listen to all of us, then you will realize that breaking up of Nigeria is so golden that only if you know the unlimited choice it gives to you to finally have the opportunity to start again. When they ask you why, tell them Nigeria is a country that not just kills you, it is a system put in place where mediocrity is put above quality, where quantity is put above quality, where mediocrity is put above real specialty. The qualification that should run a country is the qualification that is living the country. And you know what we are outside the country today. But until that is done, until that conversation is had, until you have that opportunity of becoming that British, or if you have already become one, that's good. But do you know that in reality, there are 60 million of us that won't have it that way? They don't want to be British. They have been forced to be Nigerians. They will continue to be Nigerians. Same with our Igbo brothers and sisters. This is the reality. But if you have had the opportunity of becoming a British as a Biafran, and you have become a Biafran American, you have become a Biafran Canadian, you have become a Biafran German, of course. But remember, your brothers and sisters will not be able to become the real Biafran that you attach to that your name, as long as Nigeria is Nigeria. And as much as everybody says they want to leave, if it is so easy to do it, some of us will probably become Nigerian Biafran. I would gladly become a Nigerian Biafran because I can easily just go to instead of going to Ghana, I will go to Biafra. But here we are, the contraption that is forcefully put together, the elite that is benefiting from it, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, Ibibio, Ijo, Ishekiri, from your own tribe, your people, my people that are benefiting from it, are the people who are now armed, telling us not to have that conversation that will make it easier for you to discuss about that Biafra without anybody arresting, attacking you. So the reality today is this: before you go anywhere, you will have to still go without your Nigerian passport, won't you? If they call Nigerians on this line, even if you don't want to, you still have to go on that line. Or else, even if you don't want to, that your passport will still what? Give you up until that chance comes. And that's what I'm saying. We should all know that until that conversation is had, you can disagree with people. It is normal. It is not a competition. I keep saying it to people. You can tell people about great ideas, great things, and all of that, but you can't make them do it. Yeah. You will be lucky if you have a lot of people that agree with you. That is something. And that is why you should respect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Respect him. Respect him, even if you don't agree with him. Respect him. If they open up the conference and say all of us should come and talk in a normal country, everybody will attend that conference, and everybody's grievance and their grievances must be documented. And when they come in there, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself knows that he will not go to that conference and start abusing Fulani, abusing Hausa, abusing Igbos, abusing Yorubas, abusing anybody, because he doesn't abuse them. If what he says to you feels like an insult to you, maybe you should pipe down. Yeah, pipe down. If you pipe down and allow that little space of unlocking your mind based on what you have heard, I'm not saying you don't have right to it. You have right to it, okay? Don't think I am judging you for believing what you believe about the Biafrans, okay? You have every right to believe them. But you also have the right to know that everything you believe is not completely true. And you will never know until you listen to others, until you listen to them. You disagree with them, fine. Same thing with you, my brothers and sisters, Yorubas. You have your own conclusion about other people. Of course you do. I'm not asking you to change them. Asking you to change them right now is like asking you or me telling you what to do. But you're going to change them anyway. You know why you're going to change them? Because possibly everything you believe is not true. And you will never know until you listen to them. And this thing goes both ways. So, but when you allow people to come and talk, and they come there to tell you how angry they are, you look beyond their anger. You look through the relevance of their petition, why they are angry. And when you now acknowledge their anger and their rage and everything, you begin to review them. And then you realize that, well, with all of these differences, I think it is the ideal to put it into a vote. How many of you agree that the Biafrans should go and conduct a referendum among themselves and have their own country This is where everybody needs everybody. Because take for instance, when that conversation happens, you, my brothers and sisters, it will shock you. There are so many people will come to that conversation table. Because this time around, it's not going to be the one coordinated by the system, the rigged system. They always want to predetermine the end result before they put together a charade that they called national conference. I'm not talking about that. There are processes that can build this, and I'll tell you one or two that I believe. Processes that can lead to conversation where people can demand for either referendum or they want to stay together, right? I can tell you them. But these processes has to be put together not by the rigged system, not by this rigged system. And I need you to know that when you call for a national conversation where Igbos will walk in, where Ijaws will walk in, where Ishekiris will walk in, where the Fulanis themselves will walk in, where Hausas will walk in, and where Nupes will walk in. Our people from the Middle Belt will walk in. I'm sorry if I don't know all the tribes, okay? And I cannot go on and on like that, okay? But you know what I'm talking about. Where everyone is invited and say, come. What do you think will make Nigeria work? And in that conversation, people believe that let us break up Nigeria. Okay, why? We believe for this, and that reason, we will be better off. Of course, you would expect that the Biafrans, the majority of them, not all of them, let that be your own reality today, even if you don't completely agree with it. But you will agree with me to some extent on this. But you will never find out how many people really agree with Biafra and how many people disagree with Oduduwa Republic. How many people will come forward and ask for Arewa Republic or ask for their own Niger Delta Republic or whatever they want to be called. You will be shocked if the conference is not tailored to have a predetermined end result like they have been doing. One of the reasons why it's never worked. Then ask Biafrans and say, okay, all of us are here. No be only Biafrans want referendum. It's like the Yoruba contingent and also asking for referendum. In fact, even from the Yorubas, some group as well, some tribe are saying they don't want to be part of Yoruba or Oduduwa Republic. They want to have their own country. And here is their own memorandum. This is their own reasons. Okay, everybody will present it. Now, if you want everybody to go and conduct their own referendum, you will expect that those people who don't want to be part of Oduduwa Republic, they will be given the opportunity to have their own disagreements on the ballot paper. Some of you may not know that. Breaking up of a country peacefully now, which is what I advocate. I know some of you don't agree. Some of you believe that Nigeria has passed that stage of peaceful dissolution. I don't believe that. I believe that all that will trigger a peaceful dissolution of Nigeria is to have that ability to call for that conversation. Okay? So, if the Igbos want to go, how many of you agree that we should allow a referendum so that the Igbos can go to the east, to Biafra land, and start the campaign for referendum? Let Igbo people themselves vote if they want to have Biafra or they don't want to have Biafra. Give them that template. No bloodshed. You will know that there are people who don't want Biafra. Okay? You can call them names. I understand. That is the attitude I want you to drop now. If you really want to have a real progress, whereby apart from all of us just talking and talking or waiting for the day there will be war, all you have to know is that people will still do what they will do. People are already they are already campaigning for Peter Obi in the east. People who are campaigning for Peter Obi and PDP in the eastern Nigeria, and those who are also saying that they are not part of Biafra, you need to put it on the ballot. You don't have to put gun on their head and make them take and accept, okay? It is the ability to allow them tell you why and the ability to choose where they want to belong, then you realize that if they don't want Biafra, doesn't mean that they don't support the breakup of Nigeria. And they can have their own country too. You can have your own Biafra too. No context. I mean, no contest. What do you call it? No competition. Then you can let Biafrans go and decide who wants to be in Biafra, who don't want to be, and why. So Biafrans can come back and say, hey, results don't land though. 92% of our people has voted, and they have voted to leave Nigeria. So that result will be brought back to the table. If Oduduwa says, yes, we want to go and conduct our own referendum too, that conversation will allow it. They will develop it. Give me a sec. I've been talking for an hour. If the Oduduwa people says they want to go, which we would, then you put it into a test and say, okay, yeah, everybody go. People like me will be on the street and tell people why we should go. There are many, many of you that will be on the street why people should stay. That is what the democratization of choice. That is where the conversation will lead to. Then the Yorubas will come back and say, we have conducted our own referendum. These people says they want to be part of Nigeria. But generally, the result says 70% of Yorubas want to go for Oduduwa Republic. Then they will bring the result back to the table. What about the people of Benue, the Middle Beltans? How did they vote? Did they call for a referendum? Yes, they did. And their own result is out. They say, okay, what is their result? They say, well, they've also voted. They want to leave. But they have their own clause. They say if they are to stay with Nigeria, they want to have their own region, their own government, their own protection, their own everything without anybody telling them how to do it. I say, okay, fair enough. They have clause. Good. Bring it back to the table. What about our brothers, the Arewas and the Fulanis? Did they have any new name? Did everyone vote to be part of Nigeria? This is what we are asking for. Have that conversation. It is by having that conversation, then you know those who wanted to stay, those who wanted to leave. And how did everybody now agree on something? That, okay, you Biafrans that want to leave, we, these people, we are asking that what if we give you this? What if you are free to print your own currency? What if you are free to print your own this and that? What if you are free to create your own borders? What if we consider all of this to you, all of you, that you can do whatever you want, but we want you to still be part of Nigeria? Will you consider it? They say, okay, wait, let us go back to our people. We will go and ask them through a referendum again. Okay, Biafrans, you have voted for to leave Nigeria completely, but we are negotiating with other people from other regions. Okay, they are saying we can have this and that. They are ready to do this and that peacefully. Okay, shall you agree or not? Biafrans will go and vote again, not through this rigged system. Are you people mad? We say we want Biafra, you they tell us about region. Again, 99% people have voted for Biafra. They don't want anything say. They say that Biafra they want. Okay, fine. Okay, Biafrans have decided that nothing will make them stay. Oh, what about you, Yorubas? Say any deal, regionalism, what you want, everything we'll give you. But we'll still keep one country. But you can do whatever you want. How about that? Yorubas too will go back. I know all of you are telling me story. All this in a story, Maiyegun. Well, I told you, you don't have to agree with me. Okay? But the fact that you are even listening to me, that means something. Maybe not to you, but to me. It means that even though you disagree with me completely, yes, fine. My theory is rubbish. Fine. But do you know that you actually listened to me to the point that you came to that conclusion? Maybe if you allow some time, maybe what I have been saying will make sense. Maybe you will realize that since Nigeria cannot protect everybody anymore, Nigeria is telling you to pray. Nigeria is telling you that some people are to be blamed, yet no solution to how you will be saved. Maybe you are going to agree with me. So I'm not offended if you call me names. I'm not. No, I'm not. But the fact that you listen to me to this point, come on, bruv. That means you are capable of changing some of that long-held belief, not just towards me, but towards people who come from where I come from, the Yoruba people. Or maybe your own determined disposition, premonition about others is still very strong. But you listen to me. That is something. And I appreciate you for that. You may continue to disagree with me. But listen, if we are to avoid bloodshed, bloodbath, you have to let the people decide where they want to be. When you don't let them decide and you continue to decide for them because you know better or your solution is the best or whatever one Nigeria you are pushing or break up Nigeria you are pushing, your theory works fine. I'm talking about something that can be put into practice that involves everybody. I mean, everybody now, because we are all to blame. I mean, literally, we are all to blame, to be blamed. We all have a role to play because we have this belief that cannot be changed because others are talking rubbish. Whatever they are saying is nonsense. What you believe in is the best. However, nothing is changing. In reality, nothing is changing. So practically, we need to listen to ourselves. We can be mad, angry, do all of that. I will do everything to save my country. You can do everything. But you cannot do anything if you don't listen to other people. So when you now put this together, the Igbos have decided not once, but twice. What are you waiting for? Why do you want to keep them as part of a country? Why do you have to militarize their region? Why do you need to kill and kidnap their young people? Why? That why is because you have refused to accept that the people have a choice to make in where they belong. And you cannot continue to brandish one Nigeria that you cannot even explain one Nigeria. You can't. And for 22 years, those who have told us they have the solution, many of them have died, many have retired, and they are still trapped in that same nonsense. You are young. You believe that it won't work. Some people believe it will work. Listen to yourselves. That's what I'm asking. That is not too much to ask. So when you refuse that chance for people to ask, then when you reject peaceful dissolution, then you cannot in any way prevent violent revolution. And like I said, there are many of you who agree on so many methods on how to do this. But I have this method that I told you I'm going to share with you. It is not the best. Among many other things I've told you or shared with you in my countless videos and series of my live broadcasts and many things you've come across from me, it is not the best. But it is practicable. It is practically possible if people can calm down for a second out of all of your rage, your anger, your displeasure, your I don't take nonsense attitude. You see, all of these things, they are distractions, guys. Something will work eventually if we can sustain it. The advocacy to unlock minds, to let people see through that the actions they take today have consequences for tomorrow, whether they are going to be here or they are not going to be here anymore or dead. We can build an advocacy around letting people know why Nigeria is not working for them as a people, and letting them know that no matter what the politicians try to prefer as solutions, it is not an end to the problem. It is a mean to an end that nobody knows, and most of us do know. A chaotic end, because the job of a politician is to find a problem and pretend to be resolving that problem. And if there is no problem, they have to create that problem. And in the process, then offer to have a solution to that problem. And in the process of solving that problem, they create more problems. And they ask you to give them time so that they can solve these new problems that they deliberately created, because it is their job to create problems. So you have to build an advocacy that let people know that the distrust they have in the system is not enough. It is time to push back, reject them. Let people now know that they can come together. All these young advocacy groups in different parts of Yoruba land, for example, reach out to them, encourage them, let them know that they are going to be the tool, the engine, the machinery that is going to take the message to the people that Oduduwa Republic can be better than Nigeria, as long as what they have in Nigeria today is continually forced on them. This advocacy of letting people know, it looks so little, but it is not. As we speak, Yoruba land is a beggarly country. It's supposedly prosperous country if Yorubas are allowed to indeed decide for themselves, not through their elite, the corrupt ones who have been in charge for these recent times of 22 years. For 22 years, they didn't plan anything for us. So if you have to let people know that they can choose, they don't have to choose PDP or APC, you have to be ready to let them know why. This doesn't look so kind of, it doesn't look so unique as a system or as a style or as an approach, but it is so simple and so crucial that only if it can be sustained. And what do I mean by that? We already have people who are saying, we don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore. These are the people we should be listening to. We should be what? We should be listening to. We should empower them enough. And when I say empower them, I'm talking about empower them with real information, tools that goes directly to the people, that knows them, knows their advocacies, so that when time comes for everyone to rally around and form a united front, you will know all the pieces of these advocacy groups doing this in Yoruba land. Bring them together. People will ask me, Maiyegun, what are you doing to bring them together? I use my broadcast to bring them together, because many of them plug in onto so many of my podcasts. And if I use my platform to send out the message to say, continue what you are doing, don't relent, The only thing that always comes after you is not those who are currently killing the people. It is those who are burying the stories of those being killed. And those who are burying the stories of those being killed in Yoruba land, for example, they are not the Fulanis, they are not the Igbos, they are not the Hausas, they are not those external or foreign people they are trying to make you understand are in charge. They are nobodies other than your own people, Yorubas. They are the governors, they are the senators, they are the rep members. They are the deciders. They are the only people who can put a stop to it. And since they won't put a stop to it, the advocacy around Yoruba land is to dislodge them, displace them, and replace them until you have those army of people who knows why something has to change. And until that happens, well, we won't stop talking. I thought I should share that with you. Like I said, you can watch my video again. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to. But you likely find out that we agree on so many things. And by the time you compare them with what you agree to, listening to other people, having a conversation that I keep talking about, we are likely going to be pursuing the same thing before the mid-2021. I'm going to see you again after this. And if you have a chance of joining me again, please do. There is this anthem that I'd love to share because it's always on popular demand, the Oduduwa anthem. You can listen to this before you go. Share the broadcast if you can. And if you can't, well, thanks for joining me. But you can listen to this before we call it a night. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. And good night to every one of you.
Them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shut down, yo yo.
Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo.